Welcome to Savor the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole. This is Vanessa, and
Hello.
welcome.
To our welcome to Onyx Storm Eve.
Yes,
For
in
me, not
in
for
real time.
yes, not for listening time, but for me time, it's Onyx Storm Eve. I get to read it as soon as I wake up tomorrow.
I was gonna ask you that yesterday. I was gonna send you a text and be like, "What are your plans? Are you gonna wake up at midnight and read it, or just like?"
I literally feel like a kid at Christmas Eve, where I'm like, I might, like, if I wake up at midnight, there's no going back to sleep. Like, it's happening. So my plan is Tim's alarm, when it goes off for work, I'll just get up when he gets up and I'll start reading then. But if I wake up any earlier, I'm gonna have my Kindle next to my bed just in case.
Like,
2
a.m. Onyx Storm.
Yep, I'm so excited.
That's funny.
Can we talk Onyx Storm real fast? But since we're on the topic,
yes,
of all the drama.
Yes, I know you've been having drama with this, and you were like, "I'll tell you on the podcast," yes. And I'm like, "Okay, hurry."
I'm so fed up with people on the internet. Like, why are people such assholes? So I understand that. So I thought it was just Targets, but apparently it's Walmart's too. Targets and Walmart's across the country have been putting Onyx Storm out because they received it, and instead of waiting until the paper on the thing, it says like, don't stock this until January 21st, they're just stocking it, so people are getting it early. And which is fine for some people, I guess. Like, if you're just like, oh my god, I lucked out and I got it and I'm gonna read it. Well, there's also lots of assholes who got it and just started posting shit online of like spoilers, like went to the last page and then like would post things online.
Oh, no, that's a no-no.
Yes, I've even seen a couple of people who like apparently they're taking like pictures of it and posting like full pages and stuff online. Like, you are an asshole. So not only does that mess up like people's enjoyment of it,
right,
but like you're taking something that Rebecca spent like a year more on, like you're taking all of her work and then ruining it for everyone, like ruining the experience for people. And I could totally understand why she's pissed off. Like, I would be pissed off too.
Didn't you say that she like was like, I'm done with this, and
yeah,
like she's like, I'm going away?
She just posted on her Instagram yesterday or the day before now, in her stories, and just said, I'm taking a few days off from this app. Be kind to each other. Goodbye.
Well,
yeah. So I can imagine like what it feels like to have your work just like not be like respected and whatever. I'm very interested to see how the publishing companies react to this on future releases, like future big releases. Because I looked it up. There is actual regulations against companies putting things out before their release dates.
Really?
It's
that was about to be my
the fair trade the fair trade whatever organization. It's like regulations against it's something about like if your company would get unfair advantage by putting something out earlier than what it's supposed to be, like you're not allowed to do that. So there's laws or regulations against that. So I'm very interested to see if, like, I was talking to Tim about it, and like, what if they did something where the release date is digital only, and then you can buy the hard copy like 2 days later or something, because maybe they don't ship anything out until release day.
Wow.
Like, what? I don't know if they would ever actually do that, because it would affect sales, I'm sure, but like, I don't know.
Well, then you're giving unfair advantage to basically Amazon.
Oh, any digital.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't that was going to be my next thought, was like, I don't even know how anybody would address that, minus like, don't do it again, right? Or else.
Yeah. Or clearly mark like something on the boxes that says like wrap it around and tape and like do not open.
Like what they do in a couple days before Black Friday when you're walking through like Walmart and it's just like everything's taped up and you can't get in. I honestly don't. If somebody saw like a pallet of Onyx Storm wrapped up, it says do not open until this date, I don't think that would deter anybody.
No. But I mean, like, keep it in the back, though, like, where you don't even have it, like, visible, whatever. Anyways, I've also seen a few people that I would like to shout out, not specifically, but just people on the internet who did find it early and bought it and still waited. Like, they're like, I'm not going to read it until Tuesday, but this is the copy I was looking for, so I'm going to buy it now.
Right, yeah.
So, like, good for you, but I don't know.
Or you could even like read it, but then not.
Just you don't post anything on the internet.
Don't. Yeah, that's sad that you don't ruin it for everybody else. Because I've really learned over when we're doing the our bonus bites episodes that like once my phone found out that I was reading Twilight, it was like, let me give you everything I know about Twilight. And I was like, this is not what I want.
Right.
Like, not that I've been like a huge Twilight fan, but at the same time, you're taking away what could have been like the one joyous moment that I found.
Right. Exactly. You're spoiling this moment for me, and now I know about it on TikTok instead of by reading it or watching it. I don't know. I am very excited to finally read this book so that I can enjoy the internet again, so I don't have to like worry about spoilers anymore.
Well, good thing the TikTok ban happened.
And also, I think I'm tired. My entire algorithm on every single platform is Fourth Wing only, and I'm kind of fucking tired of it. I'm so ready to see other things. So
give me a puppy video or something.
Anything else. That's literally all I'm seeing. So I am ready for this to move forward.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all the Onyx Storm trauma on the eve of Onyx Storm.
Well, after tomorrow, you'll be free to go back into the internet wild.
That's right. Yes, I won't have any fear. Anyway, tell me things now.
I don't have anything quite that crazy, but okay, I did. I mean, this whole week has been unpacking, so But I have gotten to do a lot an of shopping for things that I need at the house.
Like home shopping?
Home goods shopping, which I've really enjoyed. Having an excuse to buy stuff like that. But at the same time, now I am poor.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
I have no more money. Yes. I think even in the next paycheck, I've spent all my extra money for that too. So,
well, you needed things. I feel like that's happened to me every time I've moved into a new place. So I get it.
Well, like I keep finding things that we need, and I'm like, I'm gonna like. Yesterday, I was like, we need a toilet paper holder because our guest bathroom doesn't have one, and I was like, we need one, and I like mentioned it to Mike while I was looking for it, and he's like, well, send it to me and I'll buy it. And I was like, it's $8. I don't need you to buy this. I need you to buy the expensive things that I can't afford.
Let me send you the $300 thing.
Yes, so I sent him bookshelves. So he bought me 2 bookshelves to put back here so I can finally put all my books out. So
good.
Which I need to do because I need to find
Breaking Dawn.
Breaking Dawn.
That we're recording in less than 7 days.
Yes. And I think it's, knowing me, it'll take all 7 days to finish it. So,
yes. Well, good thing you only have to read 18 chapters. So,
yes.
At the very least. Yes. That was my plan yesterday. And then I didn't. So now it has to wait until after Onyx Storm.
So Wednesday.
Here we go.
All right. All right, cool.
Yes.
Did you Did you do anything this week? Any exciting news, snacks, things?
No, not exciting news, but Tim and I did on Saturday morning. We went to that place, Val's Bakery, that me and you went to that one time. I will say they were not as delicious as they were when me and you went.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was just not as whatever. Tim, on the other hand, did not think the same thing. He loved everything he ate. But I did have, which I'm going to use as my snack this week. It was a triple berry cream cheese. What is it called? Like a pastry? I don't know. It's just a pastry.
So descriptive. You had a lot of words going on and then you stopped.
I don't know what the last word is. We're just going to go with pastry. But it was delightful. I was going to say croissant, but it's like, I guess croissant like textured, but it was just like a flat, like a tostada.
Oh, I love tostadas.
Yes.
So it was like a breakfast dessert tostada.
That's right. And it was delightful.
And it was cream cheese, you said? Mm-hmm. Man, if you're going to put a food group into a pastry, like you hit them all. Make it the cream cheese.
Yes.
Like, what is it? Yeah, that's like the pinnacle of deliciousness. You give me put some cream cheese in front of me. Yes. And I am an animal. Apparently. So
it was so good. So that's my snack this week. But really, otherwise, we didn't really do much. But I wanted to go out Friday night. I was like, let's go on a date night. And then I was like, no, you know what? Let's go on a date breakfast.
Nice.
So we moved it. And so Friday night, he went out with one of his friends. I stayed home and just like binge watch TV all night. And then Saturday morning, got up and had yummy pastries.
Nice. That's cool. I don't know how it happened. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But so I was just like perusing the Kroger app, trying to like build a shopping list. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it was like rotisserie chicken on sale. And I was like, hell yeah, I love rotisserie chicken. Throw a rotisserie chicken in there. Uh-huh. I made 2 meals with that rotisserie chicken.
Nice.
I made, with like the leftovers, I'm going to start with the second meal because the first meal is my snack. Okay. So if we could call it a snack, I don't know. Right. But, so I made with like the leftover chicken, I made like a chicken noodle soup from scratch.
Nice.
And it was pretty good. But what I originally bought it for, and I will never be able to reproduce because I did not use a recipe. I was just like, this sounds good. This sounds good.
No.
I made some bomb-ass chicken enchiladas.
You did?
They were by far the best enchiladas I've ever had.
Nice.
I don't know. And like I said, I'm kind of sad that I don't know if I'll ever be able to make them again.
Right.
But they were so good.
Nice.
And we had enough leftovers for like 2 or 3 days of like lunches. And sadly, Mike got the last one.
No.
So I was only able... I normally do not eat leftovers. I usually don't like them. Okay. I don't really like stuff reheated.
Okay.
But I ate an enchilada reheated as a leftover. It was so good.
Nice.
So I know it's not quite a snack because it was dinner.
No, that's okay.
I am rating in chicken enchiladas this week.
You know what, Nicole? You are allowed to rate in whatever you want.
Thank you. You hear welcome. That, friend of the pod?
That's right. Yes. That's. Oh, I wrote down the word and it was a Danish. That's the word I was looking for. Dang it. So triple berry cream cheese Danish.
And when you rate, you have to say the whole
thing. Great.
Say the whole thing.
Okay, done.
It'll see how good your memory is.
Yes. Okay, before we get into books, do you have anything else?
No, I don't think so. Okay. Though I've been doing a lot of snacking. Sorry. I said no, and then I was like, I said no, and then I was like, well, actually. So
do you know the amount of snacks that I bought for tomorrow? Because my plan tomorrow is literally to sit my ass right here and read all day and eat snacks.
Like, Tim, you're on your own.
Yes, I'm not eating real food tomorrow at all. But that's not what I was going to talk about. Last week, I forgot to bring these up. I had 2 notes that were associated with the book Wild Eyes, but they were more like general conversation. And I'm very sad, and I wanted to talk to you about them. One, she calls somebody a stage 10 clinger in the book. Have you ever heard it as a 10? I think I've only ever heard stage 5.
Yeah, I won't lie. Cannot remember clearly a time when anybody's used that phrase. So
yeah, stage 10 clinger did not sound right to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google. That one's a Googler.
Okay. I just wanted to know if that was like, am I the only person that's called it stage 5? Is everyone else out here calling it stage 10? Dang it. And then the other thing, so stupid. She explained that they did an eyebrow raggle, W-R-A-G-G-L-E, raggle,
instead of a waggle.
And I then tried to do it, and I can't make my eyebrows like waggle. And then I made Tim try to do it, and he couldn't either.
Like, I can independently move your eyebrows. I
don't know. Then you just was it trying to make it go like both? I don't know.
So what context was it being used? Were they like flirty, or was it like seriousness? Oh yeah, because like, there is no way to waggle or raggle your eyebrows without looking like a crazy person. The last 15 seconds of me like trying to do it, like
exactly. I literally sat there and tried to do it for at least 5 minutes. And then I tried to make Tim do it, and I couldn't do it, and I thought it was fun, and I wanted to see if you could do it.
Yeah. I can do the independent eyebrow raise.
All right.
Maybe my left one not as good as my right one, but like, I don't think I could move them fast enough for them to be raggles or waggles. Maybe that's something I need to start working out.
All right, great. In 3 episodes from now, I'm going to ask you if you've practiced.
All right. I feel like this is one of those things where I always say, like, I'm going to learn to write with my left hand.
That's right.
And then, like, then I don't.
Immediately forget about it.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's all right. Okay. Book time.
All right. Well, I'll start then.
Okay.
Okay, like I said, I have 3 books. I have met my secret goal this week. The first one I'm going to talk about is called Black Flags, Blue Waters. It is a history book by Eric J. Dolin. And I picked this one because it was free on Audible as part of like the membership. So it was an audio listen. Now this has a full name, but it was too much for the space. So the full name is Black Flag, Blue Water, The Epic History of America's Most Notorious Pirates.
Okay.
So this book is a detailed, like, I don't know, explanation of life and times of American pirates during the golden age of piracy. So this covers the known lives of pirates such as like Blackbeard and Kidd and Edward Lowe, and but it also covers some of their adversaries.
Okay.
Not advisories.
Not advisories.
Adversaries of the time. Okay. So it dives into like what life would have been like for pirates during the 1600s, like the hardships they faced, and it also goes into like how it started out at the beginning of piracy, that like these people were basically local celebrities, but then by the end of it, they were just considered to be criminals, and people were hunting them down because they were hated. Okay. So that's the main synopsis. And my thoughts on this book is like most history, there's no frills in this book.
Yeah.
I think Norton's goal was like a debunking of myths around pirates. So, it wasn't like tall tales or anything like that. It was just very, this is what happened and this is what, we know based on information available at that time. So it does get very dry in some spots. Like it turns into parts of like, there's a guy and this is his ship and this is the date that it happened and here's a very small description. But at the same time, there isn't great record keeping in the 1600s.
Right.
So a lot of the like stories or whatever come with the caveat that we don't actually know, or this is likely not true because
most of this book might be made up.
Right. I'm trying to give you facts, but these people could also be lying.
Right.
So what is it you always say? Like a untrustworthy narrator?
Oh yeah.
Is that what? Yeah. So like
unreliable.
That's what unreliable. There you go. So some of this stuff, that's what I felt like. I was like, so he's unreliable because we don't know if he's just saying it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it was still interesting. I really liked it anyway. I don't mind dry history. I just wish I would have read it instead of listening to it, just so that way, I know this is going to sound bad, I could have skimmed over some of like the, some of the drier stuff, or maybe stuff where he repeats because, he kind of jumps around a little bit. And also, there's just a lot of people in this book, and a lot of names, and a lot of dates, and a lot of places. And I'm just like, who are you again? Like, I only recognize the names of like Blackbeard, So
that was the only one I recognized.
So, yep. I rated that one like 3 chicken enchiladas.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Weyward by Emilia Hart. This was a Kindle Unlimited. It is a fiction, like a fiction or a women's fiction, but it has like very small fantasy, like a very small like magic piece to it. So I guess you could also call it fantasy. Side note, this was a sister read.
Nice. Your first 2025 sister read.
I know. I should have put this as a goal, but like I said in a previous episode, I wasn't sure if we were going to do sister reads. And then my sister caught up on all our episodes and she was like, bitch, no, we're doing sister reads.
Don't try to get out of this.
It's like, okay.
Yes.
So I haven't talked to her about this yet. So I don't know what her thoughts are, but I'll see her in like the next week. So by the time she listens to it, I will have spoken. So,
yes.
Just thoughts on the book before I get into the description. Just one thought. There are a lot of triggers in this book.
Okay.
So many triggers.
All right.
The whole book is
the whole book is a trigger warning.
The whole book is a trigger warning. Yeah, it's
no.
a lot of domestic violence. There's rape, abortion, suicide. That's not even the full list.
Okay.
Because
but like, you've got like the big hitters that
those are the big hitters, and then like if you want to call them sub bullets underneath, you know what I mean? So that's not the full list. It is a lot. But this book follows 3 main storylines. So each chapter is a different POV. The first one is based in 1619. The girl's name is Alpha. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But so Alpha is on trial for witchcraft. Well, she's on trial for the death of a man in her village. He was crushed by stampeding cows.
Okay.
And she is the prime target because the locals consider her a witch.
And she made the cows run him over. Run him, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's 1619 and she has a birthmark, so it must be her.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah. So, the next one is 1942 time frame. Her name is Violet, and she lives with her father and her father and brother, and they live on like an estate where her father is I think she said he's like a viscount or something, but
I don't know what that is.
An English lord.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. But it's 1942. I didn't even know they still existed then. I guess, do they even exist now? I guess. I need to read up on my
producer?
British yes. British monarchy, I guess. So so she is living a difficult life because partially because of her father is very like domineering and restrictive, but also like social convention wise, like her job is to grow up and be accomplished and get married and make babies for the next line of viscounts or whatever. Right. So that's basically her story, and then her life takes a turn after she meets her cousin. I can't give any more information. It does give away the book if I give any more. But and then the third storyline is 2019. Her name is Kate, and Kate leaves her husband. That's how the book starts out. Is Kate leaves her husband in the middle of the night without him knowing, and she leaves for a place called Weyward Cottage, which has been gifted to her by her aunt, who has passed away. So there she's in hiding from her husband, who's abusive, and she is trying to piece together like a new life, and one that's not, I guess, under the thumb of her spouse. So she also begins to understand she has a legacy left to her by the women of her family, and she's also learning about that, and that's how the other two storylines tie in, because they're all related in the same
the ancestry line.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. All right. So that's on the book.
Yes.
There are a lot of, like I said, so many triggers. The book is primarily triggers. It's just a whole bunch of bad shit happening to women.
Great. What a fun time.
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that from like the description of the book. So that was kind of it was hard to get into at first, and it was some cases I was like, man, I don't really want to read about this, but but basically all the men in this book are trash. So except for like two very, very, I underlined very like multiple times, like two very minor characters. They each have like one line in the book. They're not trash, but all the other men are. Oh, I guess, and Violet's brother isn't. So I take that back. Violet's brother is pretty cool. So I take that back. But basically all men are trash is what I took from this book.
Yes.
So like I was mentioning before, there is that very small theme of magic in the book. So I'm assuming that what the author wanted you to take from this book are men are trash and women are naturally resilient in the face of adversity was like the theme of the book is what I took from it. But then by adding that small bit of magic, it took away from that, like the main point of the book, right? Like, so I actually would have been more happy or fine with there being no magic in the book and it just being like a straight fiction book. Right. I think that probably would have been, if I would have wrote it, I would have done it this way. But it is what it is. It doesn't really
kind of took away from that a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of just undermined the main point of the story. So without getting into what the book is about or giving away details of the book, like if you can probably put two and two together that there's a lot going on for these women, and then magic comes in and swoops the day, swoops in and saves the day. So it's kind of like, man, you could have left that out and I would have liked the book the same.
Right.
I don't know if she was trying to cross genres or whatever, but so I didn't hate the book. I actually Alpha's story was the best story, I thought. I really enjoyed her part of the story, which is funny because I was like, I don't like the magic part. And then I was like, I actually like Alpha's story the most.
Yeah.
All of them are kind of slow reads in the fact that it's just like day to day. This is what's happening to the women day to day, right? Like, so it's not an action book by any means. There's a twist at the end, but you can see it coming. So if you, not very twisty, if you want to say. So, I liked it, but there was a lot of domestic violence in this book, and it's kind of hard to like. I don't know. I just don't want to read about it after a while. Right. So, if I can give this book 2 ratings, I guess, if you ignore all of the domestic abuse and violence and all that other stuff, the book is, I liked the stories. I enjoyed them. You know, I'd give it like a 3.5. Okay. But as soon as you factor in just all of the, the depressing stuff where it's just like, man, just brings you down. Yeah, I would give the book like a 2. And I don't usually go in and read what other people think about books. But I did on this one, and because I'm just curious, and a lot of people DNF this book because of that.
Okay, that makes sense.
There was a very significant amount of people who were like, I couldn't finish it, I DNF'd it, or I gave it 1 star because of how much there is. So I think with the 2 ratings, it comes out to 3. Okay. So, yep. So 3 chicken enchiladas. Great. And I will let you know what my sister thinks of it.
Yes, I can't wait.
So, all right. So my last book.
Yes.
Finally have finished the Lunar Chronicles. Yes. This book is Winter. It's by Marissa Meyer. It's Kindle Unlimited, fantasy sci-fi, and it's number 4 in the Lunar Chronicles series. Now, very short recap because I've done so many recaps, and if you want to know what the book is about, go back and listen to all the other episodes. But basically, it's 4 books, and they're all based on fairy tales. So the first one is Cinder, based off Cinderella. It's a girl she's a cyborg and she's trying to save Earth from an evil lunar queen. The second one is Scarlet. That one's based on Little Red Riding Hood, and Scarlet is looking for her grandmother who was kidnapped, and Cinder is also looking for her, but for other reasons. 3, Cress is Rapunzel. And so everybody is together, or and they're looking, the team, to defeat the evil queen. They need help from Cress, and so they get together and they're going to go rescue her, but the rescue doesn't really go well. And so the end of the book, they're kind of all trying to recover from that. So that comes to Winter. So this retelling is based on Snow White.
Okay. All right. That makes sense with Winter.
Right. So it's wrapping up all of the storylines from the first 3 books, but the team has been reunited from all their previous adventures and are finally ready to set into motion their plan to defeat the evil Lunar Queen.
Okay.
That's all I'm giving. Which is strange because this book is 800 pages long.
Good gracious.
Yes.
Well, that's what happens when you bring all of the characters from all of the books together.
And all the storylines and all of that. Okay. So 832 pages later. But I will say, out of all 4 books, I thought this one and Cinder were the best 2.
Okay. So 1 and 4? Okay.
So there's I found this to be the same through all of the books, not just this one. It was just more prevalent in this book, I think. But there is a lot of extra plot in this book, and it seemed to be that way because Marissa Meyer was trying to tie in the Snow White theme. So like they would do something and then they had to go back and read, and redo a part, and then this, so that way we could still follow the fairy tale arc.
Okay.
Without it, I think you probably easily could have knocked off like 200 pages.
Okay.
But I understand that the point of the book is to be a retelling, so you can ignore that, but just understand that a lot of this book is just, there's extra plot because they're trying to hit these plot points. Yeah. So this book specifically, because it's so long, and I guess because it is pretty repetitive inside this book, but it's also repetitive a little bit to the other books. Nothing crazy, but it's just like, we have to go defeat the queen and everybody gets separated and then everybody gets back together. And then all of a sudden we have to separate again because we have to defeat the evil queen. And I was like, man,
we've already heard this story, man.
Yeah. So there isn't anything like wild or earth shattering in this book. It's just more storyline. You knew everything was going to work out fine because it's all fairy tale. And I will say that it's never like in the other books I was saying like for the whole time, like, oh man, I really would like to know the backstory of why these lunars and earthlings don't get along.
Yeah.
It's never explained.
Great. In 800 pages, you don't get that answer.
Right. So there's some small parts where it's like, oh, we don't like you because you have this ability, or we don't like you because of this. But there's nothing like, this is what happened historically to justify this hatred. It's just been like, well, we can't trust you. Like, okay, great. So now I liked the book. Like I said, this is between all four, this one and Cinder are my favorites. They're all good books. You just have to realize going in that, you already know what's going to happen. And, but you're just there to enjoy the retelling, I think is the main thing. You just have to prepare yourself and enjoy all that. So there are more books in this series that I didn't read.
Like little novellas?
Okay. Yeah, like 0.5s or whatever.
Okay.
I think there's actually a 0.5 for like every single book and pre and post. So
there's gracious.
There's a lot of novellas with this series. And I didn't personally go back and read all of those because this is going to sound, I guess, whatever it is, but I didn't go back and read them because I didn't want to buy them.
Okay.
All these books were Kindle Unlimited, but the novellas were not. So
okay.
I didn't go in there and buy the novellas.
That is a very fair decision.
Right. But if you don't mind spending the money, because like, let's say you were like, oh, whatever, I would have bought the books anyways. If you don't mind going in there and spending the money, it might be worth reading the whole thing front to back with all of the novellas. Because like I said, each book has like a novella in between. And I did look up one of the novellas and it was like, oh, this one gives a history of why they hate each other. And I was like,
maybe you should buy that one.
Curses.
If you don't buy any other ones, that one you should buy.
I know. I thought about it and I might.
Okay.
But at the same time,
are you done?
I would be really sad if I bought it and then it was just like, we hate each other because, like I said, you have powers and we're jealous. And I'd be like, dang it.
Maybe you can find a really detailed review.
I'm gonna have book. Yeah, I might go see if I can find somebody who put spoilers in and be like, yes, that makes sense. But to answer your earlier question, I'm just kind of done with the series. I really enjoyed the series. And I enjoyed this book. I gave this one 4 chicken enchiladas.
Nice.
But it was, I don't know that I need to go back and read the rest of them.
Yeah.
So
I understand that. That's kind of how I feel about some of the books that have like, there's a lot of books in the series, but then they have these little ones and I'm just like, I don't know if I need that.
Yeah. So like you said, if I was going to do any of them, it would be the one that explains all of that, just because I've been making such a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Give it like every single book. I'm like, where is this? I want to know why. But
okay.
So,
yep.
Those are my 3 books.
Okay. Well, funny that you had a very trigger warning book, because I also had a very trigger warning book, and really? It has a lot of domestic violence. So
dang,
very trigger warning episode for us. So I'm only going to talk about one this week. I'm squirreling away some others.
Any reason why, or you just insurance?
Yes. Insurance. Mostly because I don't know what so let me tell you, I don't know what Onyx Storm is going to do to me. Like, I'm afraid that if it ruins me, I won't be able to finish another book this week, even though I have to read Breaking Dawn. So I'm scared. And then, so I don't know if I'm going to have time for another one. And then also I've got vacation coming up and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm just like, I'm holding some books back.
Smart.
So this one is a sister book club. It's called Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. It was a Chat GPT prompt book for us. Yes.
What were your prompts?
So here's everything. So we asked for a book with a shocking twist, and it gave us 9 books to choose from. And it broke it into like categories like thrilling twists and mysterious twists and unexpected and whatever. So then we picked 1 book from the thrilling category and 1 book from the mysterious category and asked which one was better. It gave us a breakdown of both of those books based on just like what the plot was, what the tone of the book was, and then what its strengths were and who would enjoy it. So it literally gave us all of that. And Behind Closed Doors is the one we picked. And it said that it was emotionally intense, was its like description. Which, true, it is a little emotionally intense. However, it did not have a shocking twist.
Ugh.
The one thing we asked for. So both of us said this did not hit the mark. So we're going to do a couple of books on our own, and then we're going to go back for our next prompt. But first one did not succeed.
Dang it.
Okay, so we listened to this one. It's a mystery thriller. It's like just under 9 hours. It's a little bit of a shorter one. Okay, so it's from the POV of Grace, and it follows her and her husband, Jack. So the book starts about a year into their marriage, and then throughout the book, you kind of get flashback chapters that take you to like sometime before they're married, but not long before. So it's like in the few months, like you kind of get some flashbacks of when they met, and then in the months leading up to like planning their wedding and like all that kind of stuff. So, and then the current time is like a year in. And then throughout the book, the flashbacks, they kind of go in timeline order. So by the time you get to the end of the book, the last flashback is like almost perfectly timed up with where you are present day. So then you kind of like match up in time. And then the end of the book is just obviously playing out. So like I said, the story follows Jack and Grace. He's a very handsome, rich lawyer.
Lucky him.
And he actually prosecutes domestic violence cases, and he's never lost a case. And then Grace is a homemaker. She's like a master gardener, like a great chef. Her house is beautiful, like keeps a beautiful home. Does all the things, like everything is always perfect for them, right? Their house, their relationship, blah, blah, blah. And then she also takes care of her sister who has Down syndrome.
Wow.
Her sister currently lives at a school, but they plan to take her in as soon as she graduates when she's 18. So right now she's like 17 and a half or something at the or just about to turn 18. They seem like the perfect couple. They never fight. They're always so kind together, like kind to each other. Everything is perfect, obviously. But Grace's friends, who happen to be the wives of Jack's friends, not her own friends, would like to get her like to get to know her better. But Jack and Grace are never apart from each other. So like they'll invite her to go out to coffee and she'll always agree, but end up canceling at the last minute. Or if she does go, Jack is with her. So there's that. Weird patterns start showing up. Like one of the friends starts noticing things like, hey, Grace doesn't have a cell phone. Hey, Grace never answers the phone when I call the house. Hey, she's always canceling all of our plans. Like just starts noticing things. And if you kind of take the title of the book, Behind Closed Doors, you can kind of get an idea of what's happening. So I am going to give some mild spoilers in my thoughts about this. So if anybody wants to read it, then skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp in the thing so you know where the spoilers are. But I don't really know how I feel about this book. It was there's a lot of shady shit going on behind closed doors. It's I'm trying to figure out how spoilery I want to get. Okay, you know what? I'm going full spoiler.
Oh dang.
I'll put the timestamp in, like I said, but full spoiler. He gets off on fear.
Okay.
So in the flashbacks that you get of some of the things, you don't fully get all of like what he likes to do to women, but ultimately what he likes is fear. So like his whole plan and the reason why he picked Grace to marry her was because she had a daughter or a sister with Down syndrome. And her sister is easily controllable, easily like he could lock her up and then feed off of her fear, basically. So like from the very beginning of the story, it's super heavy. It's just like very heavy book. It's very uncomfortable the whole time. Like he is literally just an asshole. And so the reason why he doesn't let Grace do anything is because he's afraid that she'll say something. And early in their marriage, because he didn't let any of this come out until the day they got married, basically.
Yeah.
So groomed her up until that point. And then the couple of times that she tried to like get away, he made her seem like the crazy woman who hasn't taken her medication or like whatever, and so was able to bring her back into the house and whatever. And so like I said, it just literally was uncomfortable the entire time. I hate Jack with my whole body.
Fair.
Like everything, like whatever. There's also some animal abuse in this. It's not explicit, but it is enough to piss you off. It did make me cry. So that's kind of all the spoilers. But the end kind of happens like rather abruptly. It's just kind of like things are happening, blah, 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 and then we're done. So it's almost like everything is building, like the suspense is building, like the whatever is building, blah, and then you just like, oh, she's here and he's over here, and then that's it. Like, I don't know. It was just whatever.
So like anticlimactic.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. So both my sister and I kind of felt the same about it overall. Just it wasn't what we asked for. It did not have a shocking twist to it, because you kind of learn very early on what's going on, and then you kind of, it's just that level of intensity the entire time, basically. So I don't know where the shocking twist is at. So this is what her and I thought, was that ChatGPT obviously hasn't read the book.
Yeah.
It is taking reviews from the internets. Mm-hmm. And as we know, Book Talk is not always the most reliable.
It's not a reliable narrator.
Yes, exactly. So what I think happened is that all of these like book talkers and bookstagrammers and like all the stuff have like, oh my God, this is shocking. And ChatGPT was like, here's a book for you.
Shocking, you say?
Yes. So we think that that's what happened. Anyway, so we rated it 2.5.
Oh, you have the same rating.
Triple berry cream cheese Danish.
There you go.
Yes. 2.5 is what we ended up going with, just because it was intriguing enough to like keep us going. Like we didn't DNF it. So that was enough, but it was not great.
Lame.
Yeah. So that's that.
Would you read another book by that author?
Yes.
Like the writing was good and stuff like that. It's just like maybe just what the book was about was less.
Yeah, I didn't. Yes, I guess I hadn't really thought about it before this, but yeah, I think my answer is yes. That I would read something else by them.
Okay, just maybe not the same subject.
Yes. Yeah. And also after listening or reading this one, or listening to it, whatever, I think I might want to not read domestic violence for a while. It was just very intense the whole time, and like my whole body was just tense. Yeah. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like something that I have to be prepared for. You know, it's not something, because I mean, I'm a spontaneous book picker, so but sometimes you just have to be prepared for stuff like that. So
I know. I agree. And I'm not, like, it's not stuff that I'm triggered by at all. Like, it doesn't make me feel any kind of way other than it's just heavy. And yeah. So there's that. Okay. Well, that's it.
Well, are you since you're squirreling away your other books.
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm not sorry.
I know. I was going to say, not really. I know you're not, but that's why I had 3 books. No, I'm just joking.
No, I just like having books ready for me just in case.
Well, you're going to need it. Plus, like, I think when this, like you said earlier, you'll be leaving for your vacation soon, right? So.
Yep. So, yeah, I just, I don't know. I just have this fear that I'm going to like fail at life and just like not want to read or not like find, because I've been having a lot of problems lately of picking books because I am having so much anxiety. I have so many books that I want to read that it's giving me anxiety and not allowing me to pick another book. So I'm literally afraid that I'm not going to be able to finish a book because of my own anxiety. So I'm just, if I finish an extra one, I'm just like, well, we're saving that for the next anxiety week.
That makes sense. I've had weeks like that where I'm like, man, I just can't pick a book. And then Mike's coming. He's like, well, fine, I'll just pick one for you. And then he'll be like, how about this one? And I'm like, no. And he'll be like, okay, how about this one? I'm like, no, I don't think so. It's like picking restaurants.
It is. Yes.
So I get that.
Yes, there's I don't know. Honestly, I think Onyx Storm is doing it to me a little bit too. Like, I'm afraid to get into anything that's like too similar to it. There's a lot of stupid things happening in my brain. That's like,
yeah, that's fair.
All right. Anyway, discussion time.
Okay.
what are your thoughts on fandoms?
Fandoms is in just like groups of people who all like the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I like them. I mean,
do you support fandoms? Like, what do you? So, okay, I think fandoms, and look at my shirt. Like, I literally have a sweatshirt on right now for Fourth Wing, and like you buy merchandise or like
yeah. So, I don't think I have any book fandoms, like, because I didn't really like the dragon book, whatever it's called, Fourth Wing. I'm not like a huge Sarah J. Maas fan. I've never really like connected with any of her books enough to like continue reading them. So I don't think I have any, but I mean, I do have fandoms. I guess if you want to call it fandoms, where it just becomes your personality, right?
Yes.
Because like, look at all my dachshund stuff. It's like
no.
So, but yeah, I mean, I get them. I get why people are like subscribe to them, I guess.
Yeah.
And, I like knowing that they're out there.
Okay.
That they exist because like, they bring people together and, like stuff like that. But, I wouldn't say that I am like no book fandoms.
You're not like supporting book fandoms.
Right. Yeah. And I'm, so yeah. What about you?
I feel like I'm a solo fandom person. Like, I really like buying all the things. Like, I like the merchandise and all of that kind of stuff, and I do get to a point where I make it my personality, but I don't really like the wanting to talk to other people about it
with people.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like that part of it. Like, my friends is cool. Like, it's fun when my friends like the same thing, because then we can chat about it. But just like a bunch of random, like I said, all the shit that I've been seeing online for the last fucking week of Fourth Wing, I'm done with all these people. I'm just like, everybody, I need you to stop liking it so that I can stop seeing it.
Yeah, well, those are fandoms used for evil.
It is. They are fandoms used for evil. But yeah, anyway, that's I feel like that's where I'm at. So I'm like a super fandom person, but by myself.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I've never been to like a Comic-Con or like anything like that, or a book festival, minus when we went to that Columbus Book Festival.
I feel like that one is a little bit different.
But it wasn't like we were going there and like,
cosplay
or anything. Like, we were just going there to like go to a library.
Yes, exactly.
Go shopping as far, so yeah, I don't know.
Well, I support them. I participate in them, all the things, but like, I don't need to talk to like 10,000 people about it. Maybe.
Right. There's that where it's like introverts unite, but separately. Yes. That's how
exactly.
I feel.
Yes. Like, let's both love this thing from afar. We could be like, look, we're both wearing a sweatshirt, but like, don't talk to me.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I think that's it. So thank you for listening. Please go and give us all the 5 stars, give us all the likes, give us all the good comments and stuff. Let us know what you're liking and all that. Our next episode will be, well, I don't know if it's our next episode because of when we come out, but our next episode we're recording is Breaking Dawn. So, but by the time you hear this, you will have heard Breaking Dawn Part 1. So Breaking Dawn Part 2 will be coming out soon. So send us all of your thoughts and feelings about Twilight as a whole. And that's it. The end.
Bye, guys. Go on, get out of here.